In the shadow of castles and cathedrals, medieval Europe was a world of stark contrasts, where peasants toiled for their daily bread and nobles feasted on exotic delicacies. But what did people really eat in the Middle Ages? From gritty loaves to peacock platters, the story of medieval food is one of survival, status, and surprising ingenuity. Join us as we uncover the flavors, traditions, and challenges of eating in a time long past. For most in medieval Europe, roughly 90% of the population, life was defined by the land. Peasants, the backbone of this world, ate what they could grow, gather, or barter. Their staple was bread, but not the soft white loaves we know today. Made from barley, rye, or even peas, peasant bread was dark, dense, and often gritty with chaff. Baking was a community affair, done in shared ovens owned by the local lord. The heart of the peasant diet was pottage, a thick, bubbling stew of grains, root vegetables like turnips or cabbage, and wild herbs. If times were good, a scrap of bacon or beans might add flavor, but meat was a rare luxury. Hunting was often forbidden, reserved for nobles, and a single pig could be a family's most valuable asset. Instead of water, which could carry disease, peasants drank weak ale, brewed at home and consumed by everyone, even children. This wasn't a life of abundance. A poor harvest could mean starvation, and famine loomed as a constant threat. Step into a medieval castle, and the scene transforms. For nobles, food was not just sustenance, it was power. Feasts were extravagant displays of wealth, designed to dazzle guests and assert dominance. Tables groaned under the weight of roasted boar, venison, and even exotic birds like swan or crane. Spices were the ultimate status symbol. Saffron, pepper, and cinnamon, imported from distant lands, cost more than gold. A single dish laced with these flavors could bankrupt a lesser lord. Cooks crafted subtleties, culinary showpieces like pies that, when sliced, released live birds or revealed intricate designs. Unlike peasants, nobles enjoyed fine white bread made from milled wheat and drank imported wine, not ale. Their kitchens were bustling hives, with massive fireplaces and teams of cooks who could make or break a lord's reputation. These feasts weren't just meals. They were theater, where every bite told a story of privilege.
If you're enjoying the video so far, remember to like, subscribe, and click on all notifications to enjoy future videos.
Medieval food wasn't the same across Europe. In the cold north, like England or Scandinavia, diets relied on hearty grains like oats and barley, with dairy products like cheese and butter playing a starring role. In the sunny Mediterranean, olive oil, figs, and seafood shaped the cuisine. Islamic Spain, a cultural crossroads, introduced rice, almonds, and citrus fruits, which slowly spread northward thanks to trade routes and the Crusades. Preserving food was a universal challenge. Without refrigeration, medieval people mastered ingenious methods. Meats and fish were smoked, salted, or dried to last through winter. Vegetables were pickled in vinegar, and fruits were preserved in honey or turned into jams. In lean times, every scrap was precious. A failed harvest or a harsh winter could push entire communities to the edge of survival, making preservation a matter of life and death. Food in the Middle Ages was deeply tied to culture and religion. Feasts were the social pinnacle for nobles, lasting hours with multiple courses served on trenchers, slabs of stale bread that doubled as plates. Diners often shared trenchers, scooping up sauces with their hands or knives in a noisy, communal affair. The church, however, cast a long shadow over eating. Fasting days, like Lent, made up nearly a third of the year, forbidding meat, eggs, and dairy. People turned to fish, fresh, salted, or dried, and got creative with substitutes like almond milk to mimic cream. Monasteries enforced strict diets but were also culinary innovators, brewing some of the finest ales in Europe. Food was also a craft. Early cookbooks, like The Form of Cury from 1390, reveal recipes blending sweet, sour, and spicy flavors, showing a sophistication that rivals modern cuisine. The echoes of medieval food lingered today. Mince pies, now sweet holiday treats, began as savory meat dishes. Street food, like hot pies, sold in bustling medieval markets, foreshadows our modern fast food. Even our love of spices and preserved foods traces back to the ingenuity of the Middle Ages. Some dishes sound strange, like sauces thickened with dragon's blood, a red plant resin, but they reveal a world where food was both necessity and art, shaped by the land, faith, and human creativity. From the humble pottage of peasants to the lavish feasts of kings, medieval food tells a story of resilience, innovation, and spectacle. It was a time when every meal reflected the struggles and triumphs of a complex world. Join us next time as we uncover more flavors from history. Until then, savor the taste of the past.
What medieval dish would you try? Share in the comments.